We love to inspire and reward billions of business souls
to gamify their life,
to share products and services they care deeply about
so they can experience
the magical power of
referral marketing.
Welcome to the second episode of the NaXum podcast. Today, we're going to talk about another core value, which is don't make me think, and what it means to all of us. So let's kick it off with Mark. What do you think? What does don't make me think mean to you?
Well, for me, I look at it from a field perspective, having been a company owner, and we live in such a high pace, high stress, complex society today that the last thing a person joining a company wants is more of what they already have. So they want something that they can, what I would call plug and play, where the system that they join is very simple, it's intuitive, it leads them through a path towards success, giving them everything, the tools, the support that are needed for success. All they have to add is their effort. And anything less than that in today's society is absolutely going to be rejected by individuals joining a company, because we just live in a society where people's expectations are very high of what they expect a company to deliver to them to get their attention and get their time. So that would be what I believe is why the NaXum platform is Don't Make Me Think is the answer to any company wanting to provide that for individuals joining their company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes just so much sense. Yeah, I love hearing what Mark shared because I see it as this path of knowing new people can do it. Now, one of the biggest keys in direct sales and referral marketing is when you have people who've been in the space a long time, they're always confident that they can do this. Like, oh, of course I can figure it out. But what they want to know is, can a brand new person do this? I love what Mark shared with that, because the real momentum comes when brand new people who have never been a referral marketer before can plug into a client's company and just know what to do to win. And that takes a lot of hard work on the corporate team side of setting up a platform in a way that is simple. Simplicity to the member is actually complexity in the back. It's doing the work of creating the content of what they should say to invite someone, of what they should say to follow up, of what they should say to handle an objection, so that the system itself can feel smart as a top person sitting next to them suggesting what to say next. Greg, what would you like to add to that thought?
Well, so there's a couple things. There's a couple of words that just came out between the two of you. Momentum is a big one. Expectations is another one. And the simplicity complexity conversation is key to being a great leader. So what's cool about the system is the system actually can compensate for the lack of pure leadership that you find at every level, because sometimes somebody's new in leadership and they don't really know all the things they need to do, and the people that are coming into the business underneath them have expectations, and when those expectations aren't met, they quit, and that stops the momentum of the business. So literally those three words are always in play, and a great leader always finds an opportunity to simplify the complexity of a system or an environment to create speed, and not the speed that we're just talking about share, present, enroll, elevate, and duplicate, but the actual speed of the business to money. And so what I love about this is that this idea of don't make me think is allowing people to just get into the flow of the business and let them express themselves. Expectations are really dangerous because by and large, they're negative. When you have an expectation, you're looking for how it wasn't met. And so, or what is the limiting factor? When you can take your expectations, and as Tony Robbins says, turn them into appreciations, it's a mindset shift that actually allows for things to come in and help you. So if you can look at a system, a NaXum system that actually can step in and do some work for you, then you can release yourself from the expectations thing and say, I've got this thing that's helping me do what I need to do every day. And you can just appreciate it and play the game and allow momentum to actually start to happen for you. Because the hardest thing to do in business, Robert Kiyosaki says this, the hardest thing to do in business is to create momentum. The second hardest thing to do is to keep it. So what we want our people to do is to come in and hit the ground and not have their mind in play about expectations, but just appreciate what's what and get in and play the game. And that's what great leaders and great systems do, is they provide that free path to move forward and create, connection to their dreams. So that's what I would add.
And Ben, I wanted to just say that as Craig was speaking, is thinking that, in the beginning of network marketing, or let's just say many years ago when I joined, I was 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
When I joined. And so the company, their attitude back then was, we provide the product, we pay the commissions, and we give you recognition. The field was responsible for everything. Training, building the business, motivating their people, everything. That was the field's responsibility. But that has changed over the years of responsibility. And it's been difficult for many companies to really grasp that. And what I like about the changes, it really, what Craig talked about is, once you get momentum, keeping it, is that puts the company in the driver's seat to keep and control that momentum going by providing the content and the tools that keep the field moving.
Nice.
And keep things growing, because your leaders, they go through a cycle, and as they get into that momentum and their success really comes, this is just a reality. Sometimes they do what I call sit down. They work so hard, they sit down to take a rest. But a company can't afford a rest. They have to keep that momentum. So they need to stay in charge of that momentum through the platform they provide that keeps things fresh, keeps things moving, keeps things growing.
I love that, Mark.
Yeah.
That's
It's and what Mark's sharing is leading at a different level. If you want to have this system that's so easy and so fun and don't make me think, it's not that you have 10 different leaders with 10 different theologies of how to build a referral marketing company with this confusing message. Like, the worst thing you could have is, people go to your yearly convention or semi-annual convention and they hear 10 completely different ways to run this business. But when you have this like one team approach, like, we're all one team, it's unity. Like, we all invite people to webinars, we all follow up, we all use the app to invite others and share on social media. Then whether you sponsor somebody in Topeka, or whether you sponsor somebody in Plano, or whether you sponsor somebody in Sacramento, and they go to a local event or an online training, guess what? They're hearing the same message. And like, that is magic, because it creates context over your movement. And gang, that's where it's at. But you got to get your tech right. And if you find, you kind of ask yourself the question, like, how much time does it take someone to get up to speed to get their first sale? That's a convicting question, because if there's hours of training they have to go through before they can, that's too much friction. At the end of the day, Don't Make Me Think is about removing friction. Gang, if you'd like to explore different things we've seen remove friction, go to www.naxumtour.com, grab a time to connect. Would love to meet with you from there.
So how did we get here?
When we started in referral marketing, people were still faxing in orders.
Oh yeah, I remember faxing. I am so glad technology has changed.
The internet comes out, and the first generation of technology is replicated sites.
Companies are like, here's your link, good luck.
That worked for a while until we realized that people needed more than a replicated website to win.
And that's when companies move into the second generation. They start providing images, videos, PDFs to share to get people to your links.
Good luck.
The trouble the whole way through is that companies don't have the data.
They don't know which pieces of content members are sharing, and out of that content, which ones are getting people to the website.
And then the gig economy arrives.
All these smart business apps that literally tell people what to do.
We knew referral marketing was all about your daily habits.
Like reaching out to new people,
Following up,
sharing content on social media,
and growing your mind with positive content and learning.
So we created an app that feels like a top leader is sitting next to the newest person, suggesting what they should do next, and then next, and then next.
and bam!
Companies are now getting the data on what content the members are willing to share.
And which parts are working?
Meaning that companies that have a predictive system have an advantage on their competition.
When others are brainstorming and simply throwing spaghetti against the wall.
Does throwing spaghetti even work?
NaXum clients are literally doubling down on creating fresh content that they know will work because of the insight reports from the predictive action system.
If you'd like to see the predictive platform, book a discovery session now.